Hi, Steve Gale here. In this video, we're starting with a installed version of KaliPurple, and we're going to look at installing the Elastic Stack. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install Elasticsearch. So just run these commands. So we're just going to make sure our repositories are updated. Oops. Oh. They should all be okay. Yep, everything's up to date. So now we're going to export our host name, and we're going to call our host KaliPurple. So let's have a look. Place selection. So export host name KaliPurple, apt-get install Elasticsearch. So let's let that run. And it's 496 meg, so it's going to take a while. So you can see it's now unpacking and setting up Elasticsearch 8.7.0, and now it's completed. So there's a couple of things here that we need to take note of. So they're saying how we can enable the Elasticsearch service, and we can start the Elasticsearch service. But back here, we need to have a look at our super user password. Here it is. So you can see here, this is our super user password. So we need to get a copy of that. So we need to copy that and save that somewhere. Because we're going to need that later to log into Elasticsearch. It's really important that you get a copy of this. And then there's some other configuration information which you can take note of as well. Okay, so once we've done that, the next thing to do is to specify that we're going to run a single node setup. So we can run this command here. Oops, sorry. That's clipboard, and hit enter. And basically it's come back with discovery type single node. So that's what we want. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to edit our hosts file before we go any further, because we've specified our server up here as hostname Kali-Purple. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that our hosts file has an entry for that host name with our current IP address. So if we do an IPA, and you can see here it's 192.168.1.100. So what we're going to do is we're going to do sudo nano, and we're going to do a / etc. / hosts. And look. And you can see in our host file, we've got an entry for 127.0.0.1 KaliPurple. So what we want to do is want to add another entry in here. We want to add it for our IP address, which is 192.168.1.100, and tab across, and we want to use that. We want to use that host name that we've specified, which is here, kali-purple.kali.purple. Okay, so Control X, and we'll save that away. And it would just do a cat / etc. / hosts, just to confirm. And you can see here we've got the entry here, kali-purple.kali.purple. And if we go back up to here, when we specified in the script, hostname equals kali-purple.kali.purple. So we've got a host entry for the host name that we've exported for Elasticsearch. So that should be all good. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we can do is we can install Kibana. So to install Kibana, then we just do a sudo apt install Kibana, and that'll go and get all of the Kibana information out of the app repository. Okay, so you can see now Kibana's installed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to generate the encryption keys. So we're going to paste that in. And we've got our encryption keys, so we better get a copy of those. Copy those and save those away somewhere. Okay, once we've got our encryption keys, then what we can do is we can execute this command. And what that's going to do is it's going to take that, put that server host KaliPurple into the exec kibana.yaml file. So that, and you can see here it's echoed it here as well, because it's got a sudo pipe through sudo t, and it's going to go into there, but it's also going to go into display it as well. So if we were to view this etc kibana.yaml file, we said say sudo tail / etc / kibana.yml, the YAML file, you'd see at the very end we've added this server host KaliPurple to the configuration file for Kibana, which is a YAML file. Okay. So the last thing we can do is enable Elasticsearch. So let's system control enable Elasticsearch in Kibana -- now, and that'll start the services. And what we can do once the services have started, and they take a while, and this is where if you've got 8 gig of RAM, this will happen a little bit quicker, but it'll still running 4 at this point. We can have a look at the status of those services when those services fire up. Okay, so let's have a look at let's do a system control status Kibana, and you can see here that it's active and running. So Kibana is active and running, and let's do a system control status Elasticsearch, and I'll just Control C, click in here, Control C out of that, and then same thing for Elasticsearch. Control C out of that, and you can see here that Elasticsearch service is also active and running. So both Kibana and Elasticsearch are now up and running. So the next thing we need to do is to create an enrollment token, and we need to make a copy of this enrollment token. So I'm going to copy this. Here's the command. So let's run this command, and that'll create an enrollment token. We need that enrollment token to first time in. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you've got a copy of this. So copy that enrollment token and then save that somewhere. So I've got a copy of that enrollment token. Now the next thing we do is we open up a web browser, and what we need to open up our web browser to is 192.168.1.100 port 5601. So let's open up a web browser. I might just make this full screen, and we'll put in here http://192.168.1.100, and the port number is 5601. And you can see the first thing it's doing is it's asking us to paste our enrolment token from the terminal. So we've got a copy of our enrolment token. Let's grab a copy of our enrolment token. There, and paste that in there. And then we'll go to configure elastic. And it's asking for a verification code. Now, to get the verification code, what we need to do is we need to go back to our terminal window and we need to run this command, which is sudo user share Kibana verification code. And it comes back with a 289236. So let's then go into here and put in 289236 and verify. And it'll complete the setup and then it'll ask us to log in. So our username is Elastic and the password is the password that we noted down earlier when we first did the Elastic install. So we need to go back and grab that password, which we noted down very early on. And I'll grab mine, copy that and paste that in there and then log in. And I'll save that. And I'm now loading up Elastic for the first time. So what we can do is we can add integrations now, or we can have a bit of a look around. But we've got a little bit more work to do. So we need to enable HTTPS because we've just gone in HTTP. So we'll go back to our terminal and we're going to enter the Zite applet file, enter a password. So I'm going to use that password that I was provided with earlier. I'm not sure any others I need to use. Yep. Okay, so that one's completed successfully. So let's try the next command. And this is going to make the Kibana server P12 file. Yep. And I need the password that I had before again. So I'll go back and find that password. Yep. So far so good. So I've got the same password for the Elastic Stack and the Kibana server, which is not best practice, but that's fine. So then I've got my next command. It's the third one in line. Generating certificates. So we're going to generate a Kibana server certificate. Enter the import password. So I need to go and grab that password again. that one done. So what's this one using the Kibana server certificate to generate the client certificates. We need the password again. Yep. That was a CL cert. And then we're going to do one for this one. The password again. Yep. Now we change some ownerships. So sudo change own. And change the ownership to Kibana or the key. And for the server certificate, it should have a T on the end. Change ownership for the server certificate. Change mod to change the permissions for the CA certificate. chmod 660 for the server key. And chmod 660 for the server certificate. Okay, so doing those individually seemed to work okay. I needed to delete those files, start over. That's been done. I needed to go to user share Elasticsearch and delete the sudo remove the .p12 extensions to get that to go a second time. So now we need some configuration. So we need to change some configuration in the Kibana YAML file. So let's paste this one in. So you can see here we're SSL enabled, so Kibana's SSL enabled. Then we need to specify the certificates to use for SSL in the YAML file. So we're telling it to use the server certificate. We need to specify the key into the YAML key, into the Kibana.yaml file. And base URL is HTTPS, which we've got there. And then we need to generate some encryption keys. There's no minus Q on the end. Yep. And we better grab a copy of those encryption keys. With those encryption keys and save them away. And then we can do a restart Kibana. So now when we log in, if we go back now, instead of HTTP, we need to go in as HTTPS because we've just configured Kibana as HTTPS. So it'll be HTTPS. Get rid of that. Yep, and we'll go to advanced mode and accept the risk. And we'll log in with Elastic. And we need our password to get in. Is the password we've been using all along. And log in. And we've now configured Elastic and Kibana for HTTPS. And we're in and ready to go. So next thing we'll be looking at is installing the Fleet server.